All right, welcome back to Mildly Interesting. We'll start off with number 19. Someone texted me as I was photographing this clock, giving it a Salvador Dali effect. In case you're not familiar with Dali, painter liked to paint melting clocks and things like that. I guess you could probably do this on purpose if you had someone stand next to you and you're like, all right, I'm gonna take the photo now, text and photo simultaneously, and then you could see if this is legit or if there's a Photoshop effect that this person used, but no one would go on the internet and tell lies ever. I'm sure it's legit, okay? Part of me for a second after reading it was like, wait, how is the message notification at the top of your screen gonna cause a weird effect? Oh, I get it. The vibration. Makes sense. My eggs look like they're frowning back at me. They're just upset they never had an opportunity to hatch and turn into new chickens that could make more eggs. I realize that eggs served at the grocery store are not fertilized, and that's not a possibility, okay? I'm aware, all right? But this has got to be a somewhat regular occurrence if you crack 2 eggs into a pan, right? Some kind of face forming because of the yolks being eyes, and I don't know, I've never cooked eggs. Actually, that's a lie. I have cooked eggs because I made the omelet in the Chef Boyardee video number 1 back a couple of years ago, and I realize I'm due for another cooking video at some point, or baking video might be the next thing if and when it ever happens, for Jardon tries to not poison himself. And I didn't get a face like this when I did the eggs, so maybe it doesn't happen every time, but I should cook more eggs or something and then we can see. My school's library has noise level guides that change color when it gets too loud. That seems kind of unnecessary and also like something that a contractor could way overbill a school to develop, but sure. You know, priorities. I feel like we've gotten this far in life with common sense when it comes to libraries, but who knows? I haven't been in a library in a long time, and I haven't been in school in a decent amount of time, so maybe things have gotten a lot more rowdy since then. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I missed the whole meme culture. When I was in school, it hadn't quite developed to the extent that it's at now, so maybe things have gotten a little bit more rowdy, and this is more necessary, you know, when you're sharing those memes in the library. My significant other's mother has cutting boards that look like books when they're put away. The art of charcuterie, food for thought, and movable feast, I think that says. It's a little small. That's kind of cool. I'll take it. I learned recently that it'd be good if I actually had a cutting board, because I don't. And turns out it's a little bit messier when you're cutting and you don't have the little channels around the edge to catch the liquid that's kind of going places, so I should get one. I bet they're not terribly expensive on Amazon. Probably a couple dollars or so. I just haven't bothered because I really don't ever do any cooking except when it's needed. Then you're like, dang, I should have had a cutting board. It's cool though. My grandmother has an original cell used in a Scooby-Doo cartoon. That's cool. I watched Scooby-Doo all the time when I was younger. I'd be down to have one of these. Where do I get it? Where do I sign up? Wait, top comment says, so nobody's gonna point out that the reflection shows a shark taking the picture. Oh, it really does. What the heck's going on? It does look like a shark. Why does it look like a shark? It's like a combination of the hand and the phone. But then what's going on here for the mouth? It looks like the Super Bowl shark that became the meme a few years back in that Katy Perry performance. What was it, Left Shark? Looks like that's taking the photo. Maybe this is at their house. They got it as like a, I don't know, some sort of gift for becoming a meme. The wildly different art styles used to draw the chefs on this pizza box. Yeah. Wait, why is this? Okay, I have seen this image used on like a multitude of different pizza boxes. It's not just one chain that uses this. Some kind of generic pizzabox.jpg that is royalty free or something, or stock image that anyone can grab and put on their pizza box. But also, okay. This, it's really funny. I don't know how many of you will know who this is, but he was like OG Call of Duty back when I started. Optic Hex is the owner of the Optic esports team. And I've seen like several tweets where people are like comparing this to him. It really kind of looks like him. But yeah, very, very, I want to see the front of this person because they've got some horrifying horror movie kind of mouth. Like, Jesus, Must look like the monster from Stranger Things. Ugh. This baggie of demonetized inside of a German Red Cross donation box at the airport. Someone was like, well, you know, I don't have a dime, but I do have a dime bag. Same thing, right? It'll bring someone probably more enjoyment than a dime would. Here you go. I'm sure this will make it to whoever's the recipient of this money. I'm sure they'll treat it just the same and not throw it out. Also, it's at the airport, so depending upon if this is before or after security, maybe they're like, oh, whoops, forgot to take that. Where can I ditch that? Right here, just give it to someone else who could use it. Yep, all right. Not gonna get pulled over in security at the airport. That's never a good place to have it happen. I fired a flash gun in my mouth and lit my face from the inside. I kind of want to do this. It looks like you're munching on like a stamp or like an ink cartridge for a printer. You're like, got a little bit too much red in my system. I'm in need of like, what is it? CMYK, actually. So, oh, there isn't really, yeah, wait, no, there's no red in the ink cartridges. Okay, well, whatever makes red, I've got a lot of those, but I need to bring the balance back. So I'm just gonna munch on this ink cartridge. That would actually be kind of cool to do, though. My family's Yankee Swap is so intense that we make all 30 people use the same wrapping paper so no one knows who brought what. What's a Yankee Swap? Oh, is this like a white elephant gift exchange? Gotcha. I assume that people call it different things depending upon where you live. I've heard white elephant, Secret Santa, gift exchange. Never heard Yankee Swap, but that's a way to do it, I suppose. It also really blends in well with the carpet, and someone's going to accidentally trip over that mound of things. So hopefully that doesn't happen. This brass instrument sank in my step-uncle's bathroom. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. Oh my god, that's amazing, and I kind of want it. That's awesome. I'm surprised I've never seen something like that in a restaurant. You know, there are restaurants that like to do, it's like kind of a rustic but modern look at the same time. A lot of gold fixtures, Carrara marble, nice sort of matte wood paneling. And this, you get like a gold one of those, or well, an actual like more golden brass looking one. And that would be so cool, especially at a place that does music. Oh, can you imagine like a jazz club that has sort of a, you know, trendy, very modern look to it, and they do that in the bathroom? It's such a cool design idea. I almost would want to do that, except I don't think it'd go with the decor in my house. This accident-proof garbage disposal switch. I guess that's not a bad idea. It's not really as big of a deal if you're in a house that you live alone, but I guess if you have another person, you have a guest over, and you're doing the dishes, they're like, oh, it's kind of dark over here, let me just flip this. Ow! Yeah, that's that. Well, I mean, it really is only an issue if you're actually trying to dig something out of the dishwasher. And even then, I've never reached my hand down there. Not for the reason of I'm scared of the dishwasher going on, but just it's probably kind of gross. There's a lot of accumulated food down there, I'm sure. But yeah, not a bad idea. You know, if the whole switch being turned sideways wasn't enough to be like, maybe this isn't a regular light switch, you can add that as another extra layer of security. There's a cursor in my jigsaw puzzle picture. How do you even do that, okay? How do you use a screenshot for a puzzle? Like, that means your maximum, even if you had a 4K monitor, okay? That's some low resolution when you're at, or low size when you're at 300 DPI for printing, all right? That's an instant giveaway that they did not care about the quality of this product. So say it's a 4K thing, but a puzzle's pretty big. At 300 DPI, you need a lot more than 4K to get a good image on like a large puzzle. Oh my god. How are you gonna go and screenshot something rather than even using the original file? Ugh. That's just lazy work right there. Unbelievable. Makes for a cool Easter egg, but oh my god. Unless it actually is a high quality file and you're just like, you know, it'd be funny, let's just throw a cursor in here. It's not actually a screenshot. The book I was reading on the plane mentioned the flight I was reading it on. Oh, that's like some Final Destination stuff. Hold on. 40 million invisible planes. In 2016, a total of 40 million commercial commercial passenger flights landed safely at their destinations. Only 10 ended in fatal accidents. Of course, those are the ones that journalists wrote about. 0.005%. Let's see. Safe flights are not newsworthy. Imagine flight BA16 from Sydney arrived in Singapore without any problems, and that was today's news. You're like, really? You're gonna jinx me like that? Are you kidding? I'm on the flight? This is not a good sign. I mean, I'm assuming you made it out, right? Like, do we have... Oh my God, the first comment was, this sounds like the beginning of a Final Destination movie. And I said that before I even clicked on the page. Oh, I might be in Final Destination right now. What the heck, dude? Nah. The steering wheel reflection looks like a planet in the sky. It doesn't so much look like a planet as some kind of impending doom spacecraft like the Death Star or something in Halo. And you've also got a rainbow going. Like, there's some attack that's about to take place. If there's any way to unite humanity, though, and make us forget about our little problems, it would be that. In the sky, up here, and be like, all right, well, that's... All of a sudden, all of our existing issues don't seem too big because there's a gigantic weapon orbiting our world now, so let's figure out what's going on there. Do we have any time to do that? The way this picture of a frozen puddle in my backyard looks like a landscape from the perspective of a plane. Oh yeah, it really does. Dang, that's pretty cool. I mean, once you start looking at it, you're like, it's a bit of... Okay, that looks like too large of a rock to be taken from a plane. Otherwise, though, yeah, it totally looks like a frozen lake, and another frozen lake, and then some tree lines surrounding it. And yeah, that's cool. Also, probably not that hard to recreate, but you just like, you got to think about it a certain way, and then you're like, yeah, I see it. Yeah. My tour guide's tool for picking up littered bottles along the trail. Hold on. So you have just like a bunch of different caps, and then you just screw the bottles into each of the caps. I wonder how much of a study went into determining what kind of caps and how many of each kind. Like, you had to take, okay, what's the most commonly occurring bottle that I find along the trail? If I do a hike, what's the distribution? Okay, therefore, how many of each cap should I include so that I can account for all of them and not have going over capacity? What would also be great is if people just didn't, toss a bottle off the side of the trail, because, the world is, it's my trash dumpster, and other people can pick up after me rather than me worrying about any of my own actions, because I'm better than everyone. Really wonderful. Gotta love people who do that. 1 cup of sand from every beach and desert I visited over the past 3 years. Huh. It's cool, and you managed to get it like real nice and flush and have them not mixed together. Oh God, imagine accidentally dropping that thing and having it all like blend together. That would be such a bummer. Also though, depending upon where it's from, I don't think in places like Hawaii and national parks, you're not technically actually supposed to bring any part of the national park out with you. Because the problem is, if like every single person grabs a jar, then... Yeah, I'm being a buzzkill right now. I really am. I know it. But it is sort of policy in most national parks to not bring things out, even though I'm sure everybody ends up doing it. But anyway, the cousin explainer. Okay, great-great-grandparent, great-grandparent, great-grand-uncle, first cousin twice removed, second cousin once removed, third cousin once removed. Yeah, you... Oh, God. Yeah, okay. So the way I think the cousin thing is easiest to explain is a first cousin is you share a grandparent, right? Second cousin is you share a great-grandparent. Third cousin is you share a great-great-grandparent. That's always the easiest way for me to think about it. But the whole once removed and twice removed and that whole thing, I've never gotten into that whole deal. I'm kind of just like, it's a distant relative. They're not very related at this point, but they're at occasional family gatherings, and you kind of forget who they are and what they do, and they saw you when you were 3 years old, and then it's like, oh, don't you remember? No, I don't really remember them, but And then you're like, oh, hi, good to meet you. And they're like, no, I met you when you were 5. And you're like, sorry, I didn't remember that. So yeah, that's this column over here. But that's the easiest way to remember is just you share grandparents of a certain degree, and that's that. This one dude in the crowd in a neon shirt. Oh, is that like a black light or something that's just over the whole arena? That dude's really standing out, though. That's pretty cool. Way to be unique. Even though he's probably, I'd actually start feeling really self-conscious. I'd be like, okay. Yeah, nobody else is having this effect on their shirt. This is literally just me in this entire arena. Okay, should I go change? Should I just take off my shirt? Like, I don't want people to think that I'm some kind of event staff or trying to cause a scene. I really didn't mean to stand out like this. Can I borrow a sweatshirt from I didn't think it was gonna be toasty in here. So, all right, this is awkward. Yep, cool. He would have stood out less, honestly, if he was just shirtless. Probably wouldn't have even been noticed in this overall photo here. All right, well, that's it for the last month of Mildly Interesting. I hope you've enjoyed. Make sure to like. If you'd like, check out the playlist in the description. If you want to catch more Mildly Interesting, subscribe if you're not already. And if you want to listen to the music playing right now in the background, it's over on Mara Music. Link in the description, the outro. I'll see you next time.